Hi friends, this is Nagajyoti working as an assistant professor in Department of ECE in St. Peter's Engineering College. So the name of the course which we are going to discuss is Digital Electronics for second years. So in Digital Electronics we are dealing with Unit 1. So in the last session we have discussed about what are the number systems, how to convert from one number system to other number system, and how to represent a binary number, whether the given number is signed or unsigned binary numbers. So in this session let us discuss the classification of binary codes and what are the different binary codes, how to represent the binary codes, what is the importance of each code. So coming to the classification of binary codes, binary codes are classified into 5 different ways. One is weighted code, non-weighted code, reflective code, sequential code, error detecting and correcting codes. So according to our syllabus, no need to remember all those things. We are dealing with only 3 different types of codes. But whatever the topics which we are dealing covers all the remaining codes also. So here the first one is weighted code. So here the name itself indicates weighted. So here each and every digit is having some weightage to that value. These weighted codes is again classified into two. One is binary and the other one is BCD. So here in case of binary, the binary itself indicates it consists of only two numbers, that is 0 and 1. But in case of BCD also it consists of only two numbers. But here the difference between a binary and a BCD is a binary is equivalent of that corresponding number. But whereas in case of a BCD, which is nothing but binary coded decimal, means we are representing the decimal in terms of binary, but each and every individual digit is represented with 4 bits of equivalent. So let me take an example of 10 equivalent. We need to represent decimal 10 in binary as well as BCD. So let us first explain about 10 in binary. So decimal to binary conversion, we need to divide 10 with 2. So 2 5s 10, remainder is 0. 2 2s 4, remainder is 1. 2 1s 1, remainder is 0. That is 10 equivalent in binary is 1010. But if we want to represent 10 equivalent in BCD, in case of 10, as it consists of two digits, that is 1 followed by 0, we need to write down 1 equivalent with 4 bits and 0 equivalent 4 bits. So 1 equivalent in binary is 1, but as we need to represent with 4 bits, append 3 more zeros. So the 10 equivalent in BCD is 0001 followed by 4 zeros. So in case of BCD, if there are n digits, the number of BCD bits will be having it as 4n, because each and every digit is replaced with 4 bits equivalent. And the coming to the examples of BCD, that is 842124215211 or 4211. So here in this case, let me take an example of 5211. So if we want to represent a 1 in case of 5211, by adding which numbers will be getting 1, always we need to start from the LSB. So if we replace the LSB bit of 1 for the 1, we'll be getting it as 1. So depending upon the digited value, we need to write down ones in the corresponding position. The next one is non-weighted code. In case of non-weighted code, you won't have weightage for each bit. Such codes are called as non-weighted code. So the examples for the non-weighted code are gray code and XS3 code. So if we observe this, whatever the codes which we are discussing, the same codes are repeating, the reflective code as well as a sequential code. So we need to remember binary, BCD, gray code, XS3 code, and Hamming and parity codes. So let us see how to write down a gray code. So in case of, if you want to convert binary to gray, so let me take an example. Binary number is 11101 and we need to convert that into its gray. The one way of remembering this binary to gray is B to G. In case of alphabets, we'll be getting B followed by G, that is in a straight manner. So whatever the bits which they have given in a binary, we need to perform XOR operation in a straight manner, that is two consecutive numbers should be performed in XOR. So before going for this operation, we must know what is meant by XOR. Exclusive OR operation, in which if the number of ones are same, that is if I am performing 0 XOR with 0, result is 0. 0 XOR with 1, 1. 1 XOR with 0, 1. If we are performing XOR operation, if there are odd number of ones, result is 1. If there are even number of ones, result is 0. So 1 XOR with 1, which is having two ones, which is even, so the result is 0. So XOR is nothing but odd number of ones, result is 1. Even number of ones, result is 0. So here first write down the given number 11101. This is binary. If we want to convert into gray, the first step is write down the MSB bit as it is. So here MSB bit is nothing but left side bit. So here write down the one as it is. That perform XOR operation of MSB bit towards the next bit. So the next bit is 1 1. So 1 XOR with 1 is 0. Again 1 XOR 1, 0. 1 XOR 0, 1. 0 XOR 1, 1. So the equivalent of gray code is 10011. The only thing is write down the MSB bit as it is, perform the XOR operation of two consecutive numbers. This is how to convert a binary code to a gray code. Similarly, let us see how to convert a gray to binary. So the gray code here is 1010. We are doing G to B. That is, after G we won't get a B. That is the reason don't perform XOR operation in a straight manner, but we need to perform XOR operation in a zigzag manner. So first write down the gray bit. Give it gray bit, that is 1010. In order to convert into binary, write down the MSB bit as it is, that is 1. Whatever the MSB bit which we got it binary, XOR that binary with the gray code of the next bit, that is MSB of binary XOR second bit of gray, or the next bit of gray. So here the MSB bit of gray 3 is 1. Here we are representing it as G of 3. As we are converting into binary, the result is B of 3. So B of 3 XOR with G of 2. So as we are having 4 bits over here, the gray bits I am assuming it as G3, G2, G1, G0. The first step is write down B3 equal to G3. The next step is B2 is equivalent to B3 XOR with G2. Similarly, B1 is equivalent to B2 XOR with G1. And the last one is b of 0 is equivalent to b of 1 XOR with g of 0. This is how to convert a gray code towards a binary. The next one is error correction and detection codes. So these error correction and detection codes are basically used whenever we are transmitting the data. As I have told you, in case of the transmission, even the signal is analog in nature, we are not transmitting the analog signal, rather we are converting into the digital signal, so that we'll be getting noise free output. So in this case, the name itself indicates error detection, means this is the code which is used in order to perform whether the error is present or not. So in order to find out the error is present or not, we'll be using a code called as error detection. So the example for the error detection is parity code and Hamming code. So let us discuss what is meant by a parity code. So here the parity code is nothing but it is an extra bit which is added towards the original transmitted bits. So here this parity bit may be of either odd parity or even parity. So let me tell you this with an example. So let me take there are 3 data bits. The data bits which I want to transmit is 110. The data bits are 110. I want to transmit this 110 by using odd parity. So here along with data bits 110, I need to add a parity bit. So here 110 is data bit and the other more bit is parity bit P. As I have told you, I want to perform it as odd parity. In case of data bits 110, the number of ones are 2. But I want to perform it as odd. If there are 2 ones, it is even. As I am saying it as I want to perform odd parity, the P should have 1. Because if we add 1 in the P, then only the total number of ones are 3, which is equivalent to odd parity. Means depending upon the parity, if the total number of bits are even in the data bits, if we want to transmit as odd parity, we need to place parity bit as 1. If the data bits are having odd number of ones and if we want to transmit it as odd parity, then parity bit should be equal to 0. In simple words, we can say that if we take parity bits as well as transmitted bits, the total number of bits should be equivalent to that parity. If it is odd, total number of 1 should be odd. If it is even, total number of bit 1 should be even number of ones. And the example for the error detection is Hamming code that we'll be discussing now. And the next type is error correction code, in which it is used in order to perform not only a detection. So in case of a detection, just we are finding out whether the error is present or not. But whereas in case of the correction, we'll be finding out where the error is present as well as we are able to correct the error. So the examples for this error correction codes are Hamming code. So let us see what is meant by an Hamming code. So Hamming code is useful for both error detection as well as error correction. So in case of this Hamming code, let us discuss with an example. So here basically all these are used whenever we are transmitting a data. So a transmitted data consists of 2 things. One is actual data bits or a message bits which we want to transmit. That is, original information is called as data bits or message bits. But we won't transmit directly the message bits. Along with the message bits, we'll be adding some extra bits. Those extra bits are called as a parity bits. So in case of a transmission, the total number of things which we are having is original information plus parity bit. So that is called as a code word. So here at the transmitter side, we need to generate a code word in which it consists of original information as well as parity information. And there is some sort of procedure how to write a code word. Then that code word is going to be transmitted. So the receiver will get a code word, and from the code word it need to find out where the error is present, that is error detection. Once error is found, then we need to correct the error. So here the first thing in case of a code word representation is, first we need to find out how many number of parity bits are required for a given code word. So here K represents parity bits, but the equation is, it is not 2k, that is 2 power k. So 2 power k greater than or equal to n plus k plus 1. So here k is parity bits, n is data bits or information bits. So let me take the data bits are 4. So here n value is 4. We need to find out how many parity bits are required. So here if n value is equivalent to 4, we need to perform this by using a random error process. Random error process means, first substitute k value is 0. If k value is 0, 2 power 0 equivalent to 1. 1 is greater than or equal to 4 plus 1 plus 0, which is equivalent to 5. As it is not satisfying, go for the next k value 2. If k equal to 2, 2 square is 4. 4 greater than or equal to 4 plus 2 plus 1. So whenever you are satisfying for the minimum value, that should be the value of k. So here the total Hamming code is having n plus k bits. So here if you are assuming 4 message bits, the number of parity bits required are 3, because 2 power 3 equal to 8. 8 greater than or equal to n plus k plus 1. 4 plus 3 plus 1. At least you need to take a minimum value as it is satisfying the condition 8 greater than or equal to 8. So if we are having 4 data bits, the number of parity bits required are 3. So the total code word consists of 4 plus 3, which is equivalent to 7. And the next is where to place these parity bits. So as I have told you, for 4 data bits we need of 3 parity bits. I am assuming the parity bits are P1, P2 and P3. The first step is we need to place the parity bits in the powers of 2. That is, total number which we want to transmit a code is 7. So here it is 7. So we need to write down starting from right side towards the left side, that is from LSB towards the MSB. LSB is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And after that the maximum numbers are 7. The 7 equivalent is binary is 111. So write down each decimal digit of equivalent of 3 bits. So 1 equivalent is 001, 2 equivalent is 010, 3 is 011, and parity bit should be placed in powers of 2. So 2 power 0 is 1, 2 power 1 is 2, 2 square is 3. As here we are having 3 parity bits, the first parity bit should be placed in 1, second parity bit should be placed in 2, third parity should be placed in 4, because 2 square is 4. And Similarly, if we want to write down what is the value of the parity bit. So here if you observe that the first parity bit is placed in 1. 1 equivalent in binary is 0, 0, 1. So 1 is having at which sides? 1 is having at LSB side. So see all the numbers where you are having 1 at the LSB position. So if we observe all the 1 to 7 numbers in the binary, we are having 1 at the LSB position at 1, 3, 5, 7. So here, in order to write down the parity bit P1, we need to check the data bits of 3, 5 and 7. So if it is an odd parity, now let me take B3, B5, B7. All these three are ones and I am assuming it as an odd parity. So B3, B5, B7 are ones and the parity should also be odd. So without adding any value of parity, already these are having 3 ones which is equivalent to odd ones. So P1 should be is equivalent to 0. Means B3, B5, B7 followed by P1. By seeing all these 4 bits, we can able to know whether we are writing the parity which is given in the question or not. Similarly, in order to find out the value of P2, 2 is nothing but 0, 1, 0. So 1 is present in the middle. So for which numbers we are having 1 in the middle terms? We have for 3, 6 and 7. So by checking 3, 6 and 7 position once, we need to write down the P2. So if it is odd parity, let me take B3, B6, B7 are also triple 1. So B3, B6, B7 are triple 1. So P2, as I am saying, it is an odd parity. Already there are odd number of ones. So P2 should also be is equivalent to 0. Now instead of taking triple 1, let me take B3 is equivalent to 1, B6 is 0, B7 is 1. So B3 is 1, B6 is 0, B7 is 1. So I need to write down a P2 of odd parity. 1, 0, 1. So in case of 1, 0, 1, we are having only 2 ones. But I want the parity of odd parity. So in this case, we need to write down P2 is equivalent to 1. Because if P2 is 1, we are having odd parities, that is 1, 0, 1 followed by P2 is equivalent to 1. Similarly, in order to write down P3, 3 is equivalent to which is in the 4th position. 4 equivalent is 100. That is 1 is present in the MSB side. So the numbers for 5, 6 and 7 are having 1s at the MSB side. So depending upon these 5, 6 values, as I told you in the previous example, we have taken B5 as 1, B6 as 0, B7 as 1. So the bits here are 1, 0, 1. If we want to take odd parity, P3 should be equal to 1. If we want to make use of even parity, P3 should be equivalent to 0. So depending upon the parity given, we need to take that parity. If they didn't specify any type of parity, always assume the parity is of odd parity. This is the procedure how to find out the parity bits. Once you got a parity bits, just combine all those things. That is, in case of 7-bit code word, we are having, I am saying from the MSB side, we are having first 3 bits as data bits. 7, 6, 5 are the data bits which are given in the question, and next 4th position is third parity P3 which we are calculating. Next is data bit, next parity P2, next parity bit P1. So the sequence I am telling from the MSB is data, first 3 data bits, next parity bit P3, next data bit, next two parity bits P2, P1. This is how to write down a code word in order to transmit the message, in which it consists of original data bits followed by the message bits. And coming to the how to find out the check bits. In case of a check bits, that is, we are performing the check bits operation at the receiver side. So in case of the receiver, we are having a received word as a code word. So in which it consists of both data bits as well as parity bits. So in case of a code word, we need to check whether the error is present or not. Then we need to find out, replace that error bit in the corresponding bit position. So in this case, what we need to do over here is take that code word and check only for the parity bits. As we are discussing with an example of 4 data bits plus 3 parity bits, so total 7. So now the code word is having 7 bits. But among these 7 bits, the parity bits only we need to check. So the parity bits are 1, 2, 3, P1, P2, P3. So as we have seen in the previous thing, in order to write down P1, we are taking the bits as 3, 5 and 7. But in case of check bit C1, we need to check P1, that is 1, 3, 5 and 7. So perform the XOR operation for 1, 3, 5 and 7. If the given question and the parity is same, keep it as 0. If both are different, keep it as 1. Similarly, in order to check the second C2, what we need to perform? We need to perform the XOR operation of 2, 3, 6 and 7. The only difference between the procedure for parity and procedure for check bits is, in case of parity bits, we don't know the parity bits, so we are writing the parity. But in case of the check bits, as we already know the parity bits, just we are checking whether the transmitted parity is equivalent to received parity or not. If both are same, result is 0. If both are different, result is 1. Similarly, in order to check the third C3 check bit, we need to consider the parity bits, that is nothing but 4, 5, 6 and 7. 4 represents the parity bit 3. And we need to write down the decimal equivalent of the check bits. So C is equivalent to C3, C2, C1. So let me tell you with an example. Now let me take the transmitted code word is a 7-bit of 1100 110 110 110, which is having 7 bits. Among these 7 bits, first find out, that is 7. In 7, first 3 bits are data bits, that is 110 is the data bit, and parity bit is the next bit P3, which is 0, and the next is data bit, which is 1, and next 2 bits are parity bits, which are 10. Let me take, in the given question, assumed it as odd parity. So here, in order to write down C1, you need to check 1357. So in case of 1357, as I have told you, the data code word is 1100 Write down the corresponding 1357 values. So here 1 is 0, 3 is also 0. So here in this case, what we are doing over here is, I am checking out with a values of the input positions. So the given is 1100 110. Write down this as 1, 2, 3 starting from LSB to MSB. So here in order to write down C1, we need to check the position values of 1, 3, 5 and 7. So 1 is 0, 3 is 1, 5 is 0, 7 is 1. And I am assuming that in the question they have given it as even parity. So here in case of 1, 3, 5 and 7, I got 0, 1, 0, 1. So as there are two ones which is even, as question as well as the parity which we are having the same value, so C1 is equivalent to 0. Or the other way is just perform the XOR operation of 1, 3, 5, 7. So 0 XOR 1, 1, 1 XOR 0, 1, 1 XOR 1, 0. So C1 is equivalent to 0. Similarly, in order to find out C2, we need to check the bits of 2, 3, 6, 7. So 2 is 1, 3 is 1, 6 is 1, 7 is 1. So the total number of ones are 4. Parity is also even as both are matching. C2 is also 0. Next C3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in case of 4, 5, 6, 7, that is 00, 11. Even parity question is also even parity. So C3 is also 0. So we can write down the check bit C equal to C3, C2, C1. C3 is 0, C2 is 0, C1 is also 0. So 0, 0, 0 which is equivalent to 0. That itself indicates the received transmitted code word is equivalent to received word is equivalent to transmitted word. Now let me take which I got, that is instead of even parity let me assume that odd parity. If it is odd parity, for the same example, C1 will be 1, C2 will be 1, C3 is also 1. So I am getting C equal to C3, C2, C1 which is equivalent to 111. So 111 equivalent is 7. That itself indicates there is error in the 7th position. So now we found out where the error is present. In order to correct that error, just complement that bit. So in our example, we are having 7th bit as 1. So complement of 1 is equivalent to 0. So just replace that where we got an error with the opposite one, so that is a received correct code word. This is how to find out an error and how to correct an error by using an Hamming code. But the drawback of this formula which we have used is 2 power k greater than or equal to n plus k plus 1 is it is used in order to find out a single bit error correction as well as detection. If the received code word is having more than error in 1 bit position, so we need to go for the next step. But according to our syllabus, we are limited with finding of single error detection as well as single error correction. Thank you.